Hello everyone, this is an updated version of the adaptive crochet method. My love of crocheting started in 1982 when my best friend Kathy showed me her crochet method that she developed. I say adaptive because the both of us see our stitches with our fingertips. I would like to demonstrate how I make a slip knot. I make a loop, and then I hold the loop between my thumb and index finger in my left hand. Then I'm going to make a loop with my right hand, holding the loop between my thumb and index finger in the right hand, and I'm going to just feed it through the loop that is being held with my left hand, and I pull. Once I have the slip knot made, I'll just pull it to the size that I need, and I will adjust it to the crochet hook, and let's see, just like this. Remember when starting a chain to keep the small tail to the right if you're right-handed. I would like to demonstrate how I make a foundation chain. What I do is I make sure, well, since I'm right-handed, I make sure that the tail is on the right side of the hook as I start. Now, my left hand is going to wrap the yarn over the hook, and then as you can see, my left hand is now pulling on the tail to help with the tension, so I'm also holding the tail between my thumb and index finger. Then I'm just going to pull through. When starting a chain, it's always tricky at first because you have nothing to hold on to as you make a chain. But once your chain grows, you will have something to hold on to help control the tension. I'm holding the chain and the tail in the base, against the base of my left hand, or the palm of my left hand. The chain is nice and even. As a rule of thumb, I like to start a foundation chain with a hook size 1 or 2 sizes larger than required in the pattern. For example, if a pattern calls for a size G hook, I may start my foundation chain with an H or an I. Or if my pattern calls for a size I hook, I may start my foundation chain with a J or a K. And that helps keep the chain or the foundation chain from being too tight. I have a bad habit of examining other crochet projects made by other people, and the first thing I go to is the foundation chain. And if it's too tight, I know that they used the same hook for the chain as they did for the work. So I'm just making my foundation chain, and I'm using a size I, and I prefer the Susan Bates crochet hooks. Okay, so you can see that the foundation chain is nice and even. I would like to demonstrate a single crochet. In the previous segment I used a size I crochet hook. Now I am using a size H. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook in the second chain from the hook, like this. Make sure that you keep your chain straight. Now that there are 2 loops on the hook, I'm going to brace the hook against my body. And I'm pulling on this working yarn to make sure that the tension is not too loose. Now that I have 2 loops on the hook, I'm using my right hand. With my thumb and index finger, I'm going to wrap the yarn over the hook, and my thumb is going to feed the hook like this. My index finger in the right hand is going to anchor or stabilize the hook. Now my left hand, thumb, and index finger will pinch and pull the loop over the hook like this. And as I move my thumb back, my thumb is always counting the loops that are remaining on the hook. I'm yarning over, and I'm going to pull the remaining 2 loops over the hook like this. And you can see that a single crochet is made. I'm going to do the same process again. I'm going to insert into my chain. I'm going to brace the hook against my body, yarn over, and I'm pulling over a loop, yarn over, and I'm pulling over 2. Instead of saying draw through a loop, I'm saying pulling over because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to, you can clearly see how I am crocheting and my thumb is feeling. So I am making single crochets. So I have some single crochets made for you. Now I would like to demonstrate a double crochet. I yarn over before I insert the hook into my foundation chain, and I'm going to insert the hook in the 4th chain. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm inserting my hook. I'm going to pull on my working yarn to ensure that the tension is correct. I'm going to brace the hook against my body, and I'm trying to position this. I yarned over, and I'm going to draw through, yarn over, and I'm pulling 2 loops over, and I'm pulling 2 loops over. Sometimes the hook tends to turn, so I have to be careful about that. Okay, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook in the foundation chain, brace the hook against my body, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over. And I have 2 stitches made. I'll do a couple more for you so you can see the process of this technique. Both hands are working to complete a stitch. And I have some double crochets made for you. I would now like to demonstrate a triple crochet. I'm going to yarn over 2 times. 1, 2. Then I'm going to insert my hook in the 5th chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to brace the hook against my body, and I'm pulling on the working yarn to make sure that the tension is correct. I'm going to yarn over and watch how my left hand pulls the loops over the hook. And I'm working off by 2s. And I have 1 triple crochet made. I'm going to yarn over twice, insert my hook into the chain, brace the hook against my body, and I'm pulling on the working yarn to ensure that the tension is correct, and I am completing another triple crochet. I'll pull my, so you can see. Yarning over twice, I'm inserting my hook into the foundation chain, bracing the hook against my body, and my left hand thumb is feeling the loops that are on the hook. And I'll do 1 more triple crochet for you. pulling on the working yarn to ensure that the tension is correct. And you can see that I have triple crochets made for you. This is a current project that I'm working on, and it is called a lark's foot afghan, and the stitches are all double crochets with the exception of the long double crochet. So you can see me work on a project. So I'm back to my eye hook. I'm going to make my chain. I'm going to insert into the double crochet on the previous row, and I'm going to, and you can see how I'm making my stitches. My left hand is, or my left thumb is feeling for the loops, and I just completed 3 double crochets, and I will make a chain, and I will go into the work. I like to count my stitches. My double crochet takes 3 movements, or I count 3 movements. For example, if I'm doing a single crochet, that stitch takes 2 movements. If I'm doing a double crochet, that stitch takes 3 movements. When I do a triple crochet, it takes 4 movements. So I count the movements. So, yarning over, this is the first movement, 1, and 2, 3, and then the stitch is complete. You kind of have to, since I'm pulling on the yarn, I kind of have to straighten it up when I finish a stitch. So I'm going on to another stitch, another double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and another double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and I'll do one more. 1, 2, 3.